So coming off of that game, let's start with the first half. Seattle was absolutely dominant. We were texting an aside. We thought Seattle were going to run away, score multiple goals. What was Seattle doing well in the first half for you, McCall?
I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna tell the people when I texted the group, I said, "What is happening? What is happening?" Question mark, period. I mean, for me, I just think, Chicago looks a little sloppy. Obviously, that final goal that they gave up was just a miscomm at the start of the second half, especially from veterans. You wouldn't expect that from. I know Alyssa Naeher is really good at communication. The fact that she didn't organize those two on the header or to just clear them out of the way to grab that was shocking. So there was just a couple of shocking incidences from Chicago, but credit to them to claw that back, find the mentality, still believe, be down a goal deficit and to come back and give us that thrill. I mean, thank you, Stars. Let's go.
Best game of the weekend. And I'm not going to lie, I did not have that on my bingo card. I thought this was going to be a bit of a snooze fest, but I'm pleasantly surprised. I think both of these teams, we needed a game like that, and I love that, especially for Chicago, that they ended up crawling back. But Seattle looked strong in the first half. We have to start this off. Jordan Heidema, a player that I've loved watching, but looking at how she's dealing with the depth of the squad now with Biondolo, Mia Fischel, Maddie Darling balling out and heating up in the NWSL, for her to come and get her first home goal, hold on, assist for Jess Fishlock to start this game off quick 3 minutes into the match,
Right.
and then to come get her first home goal of the season, just her second of the year. And we know as forwards that up and down, that roller coaster feeling you get of your confidence level just being shaken constantly. I absolutely love this for her. She was her and Jess Fishlock player of the match for me on the Seattle side. But they just couldn't hold on. I think they got a little too overconfident sending numbers forward. I think that three back is actually quite vulnerable for that side. But irregardless of all that, we have to give Jordan Heidema some love for that bicycle kick. Mind you, I'm 5'10". I think Jordan Heidema's a little bit taller than me, and she got that leg up all over everybody else, buried it. It was just I think she has a debate. She put up a good fight for goal of the week for me.
First of all, anybody who attempts a bicycle kick, I'm like, bless your courageous heart. Like, that seems like I'd probably be out there hurting myself. And it really is a skill. It's a technique. It's timing, it's effort, it's opportunity, it's reaction. Just brilliant from her. And you leaned on it earlier, Darian, to be on this squad for so long, right? Seattle's her home. She's been their go-to for aerial presence on crosses, for being a striker, number 9 for them, goal scorer. And then when you're in that position where you want to get better as a team and you know what that's going to mean, they're going to start bringing new players in, new talent, people that are threatening for your spot. And so you're going to have to elevate your game in order for the team to elevate and bring new people into this roster. And you have to sign up for that. And you can either
Right.
that occasion, come early, stay late, put more in, add caliber to your game, or you can just be like, I'm just happy to be on a winning team now and I'm cool riding the bench. And she said, I
Mm-mm.
still want to play. I want to show what I can do. I want to come on and score goals. And I just love how adding new players to the roster has elevated her to elevate her own game.
I love that. That's such a good shout. You have to pick those moments. I think as a pro, everybody thinks that, oh, this is what you signed up for. You just ride the waves, but you don't realize the toll it has and the decisions you have to make with your energy of, okay, no, I'm going to fight. I'm going to put up a case for myself to be a starter. And we've seen her get it consistently now. And I absolutely love it. Another player we have to give a shout out, though, on Seattle before things took a turn in the second half is Jess Fishlock. I
She's
mean,
crushing it
does
lately.
he
She came
age?
back from injury and Euros with a vengeance. This is like old school vintage Jess Fishlock. Like, rewind that clock 5 years. She's like got that youth back, got that fire back. Like, she's acting like her old self in modern day. It's crazy.
Yeah. To me, I don't think she ages. She seems to age backwards. She doesn't look tired. The way that she's still able to distribute and she's in the 18 before anybody else is at box to box. I think she's just such a consistent player, but she gets a goal tonight. It's her third goal in the last 3 games and she scored at every single game post Euros. So you're right. Homegirl's been cooking since she got back from the Euros. And actually, she has 8 goals against Chicago, her all-time high against an NWSL opponent. And it showed tonight. I think when she left the game, that's when things plummeted for Seattle and Chicago just took over. But for you, is that when Chicago started to gain some momentum? There's a couple injuries, they had players come out, then Seattle made changes. Do you think that's when Chicago started to really step it up? I mean, Ludmila scored in the 73rd minute.
I mean, first of all, okay, Jess Fishlock, Benjamin Button style. Like, amazing. So incredible. I mean, she's such a legend in this league. It's really nice to see her shining lately again. But it's interesting because when they made those substitutes and those injuries started happening for Chicago, which are normally their go-to people, other people had to step up. You know, you think of like a Cameron Biegalski, who doesn't usually play in the front line. That ball comes to her, and she's just like, I think I'm supposed to shoot this here. And she shoots it, and she gets a goal, you know, to start that turnover for Chicago, give them confidence, momentum, hope. And, you know, a lot of times the camera flashed to Masar, and she was still cheering them on, like, come on, guys, we got this. And that's when you're in a really difficult spot in the middle of a game, especially, right? You're just trying to weather that storm, and you look up at the clock and you only have so many more minutes to go. And you look over your sideline and your coach is cheering you on like there's no tomorrow and nothing's wrong, and she still believes. That is epic bounds for removing the ceiling of what can happen next. And that's why they were able to snatch it back.
I completely agree. I think we have to give Ella Masar her flowers because Chicago has not lost since she's become the interim head coach. I think she's brought some good juju. Her positivity, like you said, emanates. Laura Brevitz in the comments said Ella Masar sprinting half the length of the pitch to jump on Naeher and scream in her face. I know that pulled at my heartstrings too. She was just it felt like a true win for the club, and I don't think Chicago's had that in a long time. McCall, how much do you credit that to Ella Masar, though? Because to me, watching how she's transformed this team just with their press and their resilience has been her imprint that she's left. Even though we know it's just a short amount of time, they have a permanent head coach, well, another interim, then permanent head coach coming in January. But I think she's given this team the biggest amount of growth we've seen in probably the last couple years. Just in a few weeks, she's been the head coach.
Yeah, I think what's the difference in the last 3 games since Masar being head coach is not only her as a technician and her tactical choices, her substitutes, the players she selects and in what positions, but the team is rooting for her. They're cheering for her. They want her in that position. The head coaching job has been there twice. She turned it down. She's humble. She's hardworking. They've seen her be in all facets for that team, and they want her in that position. And when you, like your head coach, think they deserve it, think they earn it, and you're rooting for them, you'll run through a wall for them. You will grind until the very last minute of the game. You will grind until that 8 minutes, 45 seconds when that last goal went in, because you want to do it for your coach, because you are happy with that appointment. And I think that's where we got to see the best of Chicago and get over the line at the very ending moments.
Yeah, I completely agree. What do you think this says before we talk about Uncle Alyssa Naeher and her golazo? We're just gonna call it that because another freaking goalkeeper scored in the NWSL, the third one to do it. Before we jump to that, what do you think this says about Chicago and what they have left in the season? And then also, what does it say about Seattle? I mean, Seattle dropped points here. This should have been their bag. They should have gone home with full 3 points. But let's start with Chicago. What does this say about this team and where they're going?
I think you look at yourself honestly and you say, hey, listen, we probably don't have a shot at the playoffs. So what do we have a shot at now? Being the destroyers, being the dream wreckers, being, hey, you'll remember us from 2025, whether it be the end of the season, but we're going to finish on a good note. We're going to leave our impression, and then we're going to build into 2026 from the mark that we leave for the remainder of these games. And you can totally see that they are all jumping on that mentality, that wavelength, and just trying to leave their mark now.
Right? The spoiler team. This is what I love about NWSL as well, is that although you may be doing poorly the first half of the season, you could be written off from playoffs. Everything could be going wrong, but you get that injection of hope, the belief of let's start now. It's never too late. And you can go and take down some big dogs. Seattle's not the biggest dog, but if I'm an opponent looking at the squad like an Orlando, say, or a Kansas City, Chicago can spoil. But what about Seattle on the other side? To me, watching this and looking at how they didn't manage the game defensively, which also I saw the same thing against Portland, and I can't wait to hear Lori's thoughts on this as well, because she also called that game the Cascadia rivalry. Defensively, I'm like, why can you drive a boat through every lane
Yeah.
between your center backs
And how
this
many
late
times
in the match?
they got rolled? Like the center backs, Ludmila rolled several times. Schlegel had acres of time to make that slip pass to Ludmila in the beginning. Even Jones like rolled several times the center
Yeah.
back.
Yeah, it's not good enough, and I'm especially knowing Laura Harvey and how she is with the squad and how defensive. I mean, I think McCall, you were talking about when we did the watch along, how proud she is in her defensive structure with her teams. We've known this for she's one of the most decorated coaches in the NWSL. I'm a little shocked to see how open they are in the back line because they're playing so bold and big going forward.
I mean, this is disappointing for Seattle. If they think
Yeah.
they're going to be playoff contenders, those are the moments that you'll literally lose in the first round. If
Mhm.
if that's how you're going to play a latter half where you're ahead, you just can't get complacent like that. And from players on their team who have been in the playoffs multiple times and been in big games, and for that to be allowed to happen was very surprising because their last few games, Seattle have looked promising to make those playoffs, and they probably will, but they're not going to make it far if they play games like that.
I agree. I think this part of the season, especially with the parity in the NWSL now, it's who manages the game better. When do your game time decisions from your coaching staff to the players on the pitch, who's going to set the tone of let's go into a low block and play suffer ball?
Mhm.
Because I think if they did that, Chicago would have not had the chances that they created.
And interesting
Okay.
too, the first 2 goals, real quick, were in the
Yeah.
almost the same exact position against Dickey, and in between the outside center back and the left center back. So if you're playing them next, what are you doing? You're trying to put the ball right in
Mhm.
that area, pound that area, and just make it confusing and difficult and exploit that area because obviously they have an issue in that gap in that left back area.
Yeah, absolutely. Seattle has quite a few things defensively to fix going forward. But you know who's a menace in the front line that we just learned today? Alyssa freaking Uncle Naeher, y'all. Alyssa Naeher on her 200th game, her 200th start in the NWSL, became the third goalkeeper in league history in stoppage time to score an equalizer. We have one from Michelle Betos, Bella Bixby, and Uncle is the third goalkeeper to score another goal. Henrik also gets the assist, her first assist in the NWSL, the German international. But Nicole, how happy were you to see your former teammate on the women's national team score a goal like this? I mean, we were watching it together and trying to decipher if it was Schlegel, if it was Henrik, if it was Naeher,
All of a
and
sudden, I'm like,
we
wait,
both
that's a
just lost our
green
minds.
sock. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy for her. I mean, she's very team centric, always concerned with the group. And so for her to get that limelight right now and be the woman for the moment, she deserves so much of it. And it's been rough for her, you know. She's had to take a lot of shots this year, get a lot of goals scored on her, and it's not a good feeling when you're a top caliber player like her and it's not going well for you. So to get a shining moment like this, I'm psyched for her and the team. You can see the way the team
Yeah.
treated her. They're happy for her. And again, another positive note that they can build on moving forward.
Yeah, I absolutely loved it. I've never played with Alyssa Naeher, only played against her, but my heart is so happy for her, and I just can't even imagine what that's going to do for this team moving forward. And you know, we see teams in the NWSL excel when they have someone that they latch on to play for. We had Ali Krieger, Marta last year, and I think if Chicago does this right and keeps that Ella Masser, I'm going to
Yeah.
sprint half the field to celebrate with the team like I'm a player energy around Alyssa Naeher and they build from that, I think Chicago, like we said earlier, can really play spoiler.